Okay, this is part two of a two-part presentation today. Okay, so we're going to look at the chart in the Good News of Messiah here. Make sure my hand is off of it there. So this is a general end times scenario chart here, and you can see we are here in 2021, which is when this was published. It's actually 2022 right now. And then we have a time period called the restoration of all Israel, and the tribulation comes after that. So what the chaos before the restoration of Israel, the overturning of the world order, will be the first coming of the beast, and after the restoration of Israel is the second coming of the beast, and then the millennium will be after that. Okay, so let's find where we left off here. Which page was that? Okay, I have placed these charts at the end of Revelation, which you just saw. There we go. Testing. Okay, good. We have our sound bars. Okay, to show you the timeline I am projecting. Whatever the outcome may be, we must keep our thoughts organized and examine our beliefs, because corruption is downstream from the lies that infiltrate humanity and Christianity. In the Good News of Messiah, I have overturned many lies, particularly the lie that God only requires believing or trusting to be under his umbrella of forgiveness and deliverance from all these things. I did not always understand the connections, and now I will make one more for you. What is a woman? That is the question that is asked today, and it gets some surprisingly wrong answers, or non-answers, or refusal to answer. What is a recession? Similarly, the church has redefined faithfulness and holding faithful. All right, we're seeking page 6 here. Page 7. Let me put the camera down for a minute. It's going to point at the sky. All right, 1, 5, 6. There it is. All right. This really helps not having to edit the videos with all of these all too human parts of the drama. So it saves time, and it means that I can actually talk more. Okay, so they've redefined what holding faithful to Messiah Yeshua means. A large wing of the church rejects obedience and good works as necessary for salvation. It rejects holding faithful to Yeshua. So what then did Paul mean by criticizing the customary works? Or more literally, the works of the custom? And shall I utter that mistranslation? It's usually put in the translation, the works of the law. So what did Paul mean? He is referring to the use of works to pay off a debt, called zechut by Judaism, and called imputed righteousness or penal substitution by Western Christianity. These ideas are all based on debt satisfaction and not forgiveness of sins. So faithfulness contains love and good works in its very definition, aka faith in the translations, but faith really means fidelity. So faithfulness contains love and good works in its very definition. Faithfulness is a generalization of obedience, more specific. Faithfulness is not debt repayment. If anyone believes they must satisfy God's strict justice by good works, then he does not believe he has God's forgiving and benevolent justice. I am aware that Christendom is of two minds on the place of good works, and that is either none are required or indulgences are required, that is, buying forgiveness. Both ideas are wrong. Good works are required to remain, stay, or abide in forgiveness, but never to pay for it. Page 7. It may appear ridiculous to speak of forgiveness of sins as paying the debt for it, especially in light of the fact that sin produces corruption that cannot be undone or reversed. But this is exactly what Western Christianity proclaims. That includes post-Augustine Rome. So long as the sons of Israel focus on trying to repay a debt, instead of repenting and holding faithful, they are misrepresenting the Most High as someone who accepts compensation for sin. This error is so deeply entwined in the psychology of many that they cannot escape. Am I or am I not motivated by compensating God for sin? Clearly, King Saul believed he was going to compensate God for failure to destroy Amalek. So all I can do is correct an evil theory. That is, how to implement it in your own life. It needs careful and organized thinking, plus examination of oneself. Ridding our hearts of this is an enormous task, but God willing, by His Spirit, we can be renewed to love Him properly. Thanks for listening. This is the end of part 2 and the end of the presentation.